a Sight Beyond Sight entertainment production.
DJ Pastor Happy Feet of Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment. Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome to the Sight Beyond Sight entertainment podcast. Here's your host, Pastor Happy Feet.
Hey y'all, this is Leandria Johnson and you're listening to Pastor DJ Happy Feet. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, all around the world, what's going on with you? This is us, the Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Crew, where we bring you inspiration and information, the crew that make it do what it daggone do. All of us is here, and you are over there, and we are on your platform, waving all in your ear. So, what's up, y'all?
Not much.
Oh, okay. I said, y'all don't talk at the same time.
And we did exactly that.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a topic that I put in the group here. And what did I say? Something about control? Okay. Correction and control. You know, and it's like, where do we draw the line? So this could be either in a workplace, church, home, or anywhere, etc. So, is it? Some people think it's the same thing. Some people say it's different. So I want to hear from the crew so we can open up this dialogue and understand that, and understanding the difference between correction and control. Because some people use correction for control, or I don't know if it could be vice versa or not, but either way it go, it's thrown around a lot where people feel like, or people can't take correction because they think you controlling them and different things like that. So we want to find out from the crew today, and we want to hear from y'all more or less just from an area from me because of where my position is. And I just want to make sure that I don't be biased, which I can always be, very transparent, but also want to hear from you guys because a lot of people say it's mainly, that it happens in the church, especially when we get to that part in the workplace, being a supervisor or a parent, or have had parents that felt as if, either we may have felt that they was too controlling or something like that. So now we can open this dialogue. And
This was funny when I saw this topic because I had just watched a video on YouTube. I subscribe to a musician's channel, and they give some encouragement to church musicians and musicians in general. And he was just giving an example of a pastor / praise and worship leader who just came up with a song on the fly and stopped the entire service and looked over to the bass player and said, you got this wrong. And he was humming the bass lines. Well, you can't hear this? Well, no wonder we got so many problems because you can't listen. And he was doing it in church on live stream. And he said, this is going to go viral. This is going to go viral, y'all. And the way he was correcting him, it was just so unprofessional and out of his way to go and correct him and to embarrass him in the process. So when I saw this pop up, that's the first thing that popped up in my head. When I was in college, in my conducting classes and in our leadership classes with the marching band, our band director told us when you have to correct somebody, because it's going to have to happen, when you correct somebody, you find something they did good first, give them a compliment, and that will make them more attentive to the correction that comes up. So when you come just blasting somebody with correction, you turn them off immediately. So I've always learned, and I applied that to when I taught students at Chapman and when I'm instructing the young people with the praise and worship, or when I do stuff with the choir or whatever, I always compliment them on what they did. And it's all right, this is what we got to fix. And this is how we fix it. And they're more attentive and they're more receptive to it. When you give them a compliment, it lets them know they're doing good instead of just knowing you're all bad. You're never going to be good. You're never going to be good at anything. So that's the way I saw it. And people who just use correction for a form of control do it just to boost their own egos. I'm right about everything. I'm always going to be right about everything. And there's nothing you can say or do to say that I'm wrong about everything. Even if you think I'm wrong, I'm not wrong because I'm right. And you can't get anywhere with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I had a lady that used to run a little market here below the house years ago, and she was always the type that she said of course, they do plate lunch. So she said, I didn't mind people, correcting me or whatever. A lot of people call it constructive criticism. I call it corrective criticism. But I can't fix it if I don't know it's broke,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in my line of work, we call it correction because we can't make mistakes of sending someone back without the wrong order or the wrong diagnosis code for their procedure. So we call it correction. And people might get offended because they should know certain stuff, but people are like, oh, no, you got to do that right there. Because they go back, they're not going to be able to have the procedure done because the doctor sent the wrong diagnosis code. So we do a lot of correction.
So what does the part where the control part comes in?
I think it comes in the tone, in the tone in which you say it.
Yeah.
And because if you say it with a calm but authoritative tone, and that you want to fix the problem, but you actually want to fix it in a constructive way, I think people are more receptive. But when you come out like a bulldozer ready to bulldoze everything down and tear everything down, and including the person you're trying to correct or the people you're trying to correct or the situation you're trying to correct, it becomes more of a fear inducer. And it makes people afraid of you. And then all of a sudden, and actually that, in my opinion, that causes things to be worse.
But it gets into the part to where it's saying it's either my way or no way.
Yeah. And then that causes more problems.
Well,
go ahead.
Good.
Yeah, if you're gonna correct somebody, that's fine. But when you make them feel like they've been intimidated while you're correcting them, that's controlling.
Okay. Here we go.
So that's why in my department, I'm silly. So when I go to correct, I do it in a nice way. Like, girl, just change it right there so they won't be complaining in the back. I don't never say, that's wrong. You need to change that. I never do that. So just the way I am and know how to talk to them, they always call it at me instead of like asking about. Because I know how to tell them without being mean,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, I made that same mistake too, I made the same mistake. It's okay. Well, let's go ahead and change this right here so, we can go ahead and get them people back there. But,
So it's partial. And then, okay, so we can flip the corner a little bit. Is partial obedience still a form of disobedience?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you're not completely doing what you're supposed to do, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
All right. So here's where when a child is being disciplined, are we disciplining for control or for correction criticism? Or corrective criticism is what Duck was even mentioning earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it all depends on the parent.
And then correction when it comes to an adult, I guess I would say, is it different versus when you're even correcting a child? Or should it be different?
It's similar in ways.
Should it be different? It's
similar in ways because in both instances, whether you're a child or an adult, there's something that has to be corrected. But in the terms of the child might be in a place where they don't know exactly what they did wrong. So you've got to correct them in a way by explaining what they did and then correct them along with correcting them. and then it'll have to change as they keep on doing the same mistake. If they keep continuing to make the same mistake, then you'll have to change how you tell them without getting too forceful. That's where it kind of draws the line, because some parents, not all, some parents get annoyed with children making the same mistake over and over again. Then that annoyance gets in their head, and then emotions fly off the handle, and then they are gone too far with the correction. So it's a type of patience in trying to correct children, even though children can sometimes have Teflon brain. They got it? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And then 3 minutes later, doing the same thing over again. With adults, you have to be more mindful in the fact that you should come with the assumption they should know. And it's just, you go with a sense of, as a reminder, you correct as a reminder. And then you just keep it positive, and hopefully they'll catch on and won't make the same mistake again. And if they do, you got to be a little bit more intense with,
because everybody's just not going to be able to grab it. Just like
that, everybody's different. Everybody has a different mindset. Everybody won't take things the same way, particularly adults. There are a lot of adults that would jump down your throat if we try to correct them.
Exactly.
That's the one thing I like about, I've used this example several times, not to flip the script, but I will a little bit. AI, like my chat GPT, never impatient, always gives you it don't matter if you ask the same question 50 times, the tone never changes.
Never.
Gives me the explanation I want. She'll chat GPT will tell me what I need to do, and if it need to, she'll tell me, I say she, but it tell me 30 times, and it never changes a tone, and it'll guide you in your correction.
Just like
not like a
the
human.
GPS.
A human will get impatient.
Yeah, just like the GPS, it tell you, they're saying, hey, you made a wrong turn. Please make a U-turn at the second light. And they'll say, you stupid idiot.
Yeah.
I told you to do this.
They're gonna have that one day where you can really get it. It's like you'll have a mother-in-law voice. And dadgummit, I told you.
Yes.
How many times?
I told you to go right in 600 feet.
It's like was that John Witherspoon in the movie Friday? Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Eating up all the food.
So people, you've heard the term, I rule with a iron fist. Mm-hmm. Now with this terminology, when this is stated, this is letting me know, okay, now this is where the control is happening at. Mm-hmm. There is no if, ands, or buts. You have no say-so whatsoever. I rule with an iron fist, whether that be physically or whether it's a tone or whether it's a always no. That's where the control meets correction, and the correction meets control, because they don't draw the line in between, because it's my way or no way.
I got an example for that.
Okay, go ahead.
Go for it.
I can see an attorney when she was in the hospital. He said, if you die, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
What?
Control.
That's crazy. Control.
Yes.
If you die, I'll kill you. What the heck?
Chad, that was his snapper. What you talking about? You better not die, I'll kill you.
How you gonna tell her? If you die, I'm gonna kill you. She gonna be dead.
Even with eating the cake.
Bro, like after death.
Even when just eat the cake anyway. You didn't ask her to eat it. Do you want some cake? Eat the cake. I told you to eat
the cake. Especially when when you feel like, when power feel like it's being lost or losing, a person becomes very, very mean and upset and more belligerent, because they feel like they're out of, losing control. I got to do something to get more. I got to get this under control. I got to get my control back. They being disobedient. Nobody listening.
I think that whenever you throw a lot of control, like I said, correcting is one thing, but a lot of times if you're controlling during that correction, you're doing nothing more than compounding the problem, meaning that person's not going to get it knowing that somebody's hounding over the top of them with that iron fist. If you'll back off and give it time, eventually they'll get it. But, if somebody's just going to stand there and just hound you and hound you and hound you, controlling wise, you're probably never going to get it right.
Especially if the person may be, challenged a little bit or just may not be comprehending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that ain't funny.
Or comprehending much, or not so much, but are able to comprehend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It raises up the fight or flight mentality in the person receiving the harsh construction, because they're either going to retreat and not do anything, whether they do it right or wrong, or they're going to jump back at you, and then it's going to escalate in a way that nobody expected, and nothing gets done. Either way, nothing gets done because the person's either too afraid to do anything because of the fear that's instilled in them because of the overcorrection, or they're going to say, I had enough of this. It's time to correct this myself, and then they're going to come back at them. And then you get...
tell them they do it,
Mm-hmm. It's an authority thing. When a person has such an authority, they feel like they have to have control of the situation, and having control of the situation is controlling the person, however it seems to be, or however it seems to have to come out, then that's the way that I'm going to control. When you're in authority position, especially when it comes to law enforcement.
True.
And then when it comes to even, I hate to say it, but when female pastors.
Yeah, because they feel they have something to prove.
Yes, and they don't have to take that.
Like the video we did a couple of months ago about the children on the Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving, the children for that church in Texas. Y'all remember that one? Well, the girl was afraid to say that she was thankful for her stepmother because the stepmother actually listens to her.
Oh my God! Yeah.
It was not only the youth leader, but the pastor was a female. Not to disparage female leaders in the church, but like you said, Pastor, some, not all, but some leaders in that position who are female feel they have to go an extra aggressive tone more just to give that appearance of I got the authority.
Yeah.
And I mean what I mean, and I say what I say. But you're just feeling another stereotype about particularly black women. You're just fulfilling another stereotype about black women, that black women always want to argue, always want to fight, and don't want to, always combative. That's
and
not true for everybody.
You hate to put it that way, but I never once heard of Joyce Myers
she never
being mean or being masculine. She don't even have that appearance even in the pulpit, even when she comes across when she's ministering.
Mm-hmm. When she has to correct somebody, she'll ask questions, and then she'll get an understanding where they're coming from, and then she'll correct. She's not to embarrass anybody.
Versus a Juanita Bynum.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So it's just we're talking. Just because we're naming a few public figure names, it doesn't mean that it's not happening even in the local assemblies. So it happens in the workplace, at church, at homes. It's even in cliques. Even homeless people have this sense of having to have control in the area that they work. They have somebody who feels as if they're the ringleader. You do what I say, and only the way that I say it.
You don't get no rations until I tell you get your rations.
Exactly. So having control is a form also of bullying, and most people may disagree, but it's a form of bullying because you have to have that. You're still manipulating somebody. It's okay to have have ownership of something, but yet correcting in a loving way or a firm loving way to let somebody know, or we could put it like a firm, loving, understandable way. So that way the individual can get an understanding of what's really happening in this wherever they are. Even in relationships, there are controlling issues even when it comes to that. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back to that after with these messages from our walking encyclopedia himself, Mr. G and his trivia facts.
Sight Beyond Sight podcast presents Random Trivia Facts with Mr. G.
All right, I got 3 more real or fake state laws for you. And the first one we will start with on today is the state of Oklahoma. It is illegal to wrestle a bear. We will start with Duck.
True.
We got a true from Duck. Ty.
True.
We got a true from Ty. Pastor.
I'm going with I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon today. True.
We are 3 for 3. It is true. They instated this law
Yay.
to protect both bears and humans from dangerous acts. What human was dumb enough to try to wrestle a bear on purpose is beyond me. But
Drunk.
true. It is Oklahoma. No offense to people in Oklahoma, but it's Oklahoma.
Back in my school days, back in middle school, they had in our old school, they had a guy, he brought a bear, a wrestling bear. And one of I guess he was probably a junior or senior. He actually wrestled the bear. This is no joke. Yep. They had a ring set up and everything. Matter of fact, my brother dressed up as the boy's manager. He come out wearing his pimp daddy hat and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He acted like his manager.
Oh,
so it has happened. And he wasn't drunk. He might have been drunk afterwards.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it one bit.
All right. The second one. In Arkansas, it is illegal to honk your horn near a sandwich shop after 9 p.m. We'll start with Ty.
True.
We got the true. Pastor.
Maybe false.
We got a false from Pastor. And Duck.
After 9 p.m.?
After 9 p.m.
I say it's I'm gonna go true on that one.
And the trues have it. It is true. It was instilled to curb noise ordinance laws in the state of Arkansas, particularly in Fayetteville, Arkansas, because it's a college town. It's the home of the University of Arkansas. So they had to instill this because, especially on Thursdays, the Thirsty Thursdays, they would get drunk and they would just go around and just be beeping horns and doing all kinds of crazy things. So they instilled the law that no one can honk a horn near a sandwich shop after 9 p.m.
Okay. That's wonderful, Cat Daddy.
So much for going to Subway.
Right.
And the last one I have for you on today, Pastor's behind Duck and Ty. So there's a pinch so he can tie this back up. In Rhode Island, it is illegal to clap in public. And we will start with Pastor.
True, because it's so small, it'll be too loud.
We got a true from Pastor. Duck.
Clap in public. Well, I mean, no, I'd say that's false. I mean, people go ball games or something like that. Everybody claps.
And Ty?
False.
The falses have it. It is false. Of course, you can clap in public places in Rhode Island. Not many of them because it's so small, but yeah, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. So yes, that was false. So we have a tie between Ty and between Ty and Duck in this week's edition of our real estate state laws.
Well, that's good because I stunk it up last week, so I had to make up for it.
There you go. There you go. And that's Mr. G, y'all, in his trivia facts.
This has been Random Trivia Facts with Mr. G. Well done, sir. Well done.
This is DJ K Liddy, and you are now rocking with Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment. Tap in, man.
Don't go anywhere. We got more inspiration and information for you right after this. Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment is now giving piano, drums, and vocal lessons to all those who are interested. Looking for a place for you or your group to record your project? Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment has the available studio time you're looking for. For more information on how to book your studio time or to sign up for lessons, call us 864-529-5360. Reach out to us on Facebook, Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment, or by email, sightbeyondsight7@gmail.com.
This your girl, TyBoogie, and I want to welcome you back to Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Podcast. Enjoy.
And now we're back for another portion of correction versus control. And we're left off in the part when we were talking about relationships when it comes to this. Now, when we talk correction and control in a relationship, there is definitely a big difference. When you talk about correcting someone in your relationship, we're correcting, saying, no, this is not how I want to be loved. This is how I want to be spoken to. This is how we need to talk about this. This is how this needs to be communicated. When it comes to control, it's basically the same as what we were talking about running a home with an iron fist. When Ty brought up the Tina Turner and Ike situation, that relationship was very toxic and a lot of one way. And that's what control is in a relationship. It's a one-way tune or one-way communication. When I speak, you speak. Have you ever been and witnessed these in conversations or passing through? You can tell if a person is being controlled or anything like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with a woman saying, I need to ask my man, or I need to ask my husband, my wife, or my girl, or such and such. That's just a form of communication. But when it comes to manipulation and control and being forced into moving in areas where you are not comfortable or you always feeling this sense of being afraid, is definitely not good, because this is where it gets into mental abuse, verbal abuse. It could be even physical abuse. Yes, the psychological abuse. There are many different ways to abuse a person and have some form of control over them. So I was brought up in a home where it was pretty much ran like an iron fist, and all you seen was this is only my way and no other way. And most of the time the arguments was only stemmed over little simple things. Now, I've even read stories. Even, movies tell a lot of it, but they can't tell all of it. It is different once you lived it versus somebody else trying to tell it. Now, it goes a little deeper than that. the late night cries, the late night hearing the screams and the cries, or even dealing with it. It's having control. Blackmail is another way of controlling someone. I got this over your head. That's how you can control someone. That's when you control a person like a puppet.
I feel like when you with somebody that don't know nothing, like you know how some people may be a little slow, and then if you the partner, you kind of like use it to their advantage because they know everything, so they try to tell them how to do everything.
Yeah.
I see that a lot too. When somebody with somebody and that person don't know, it's not smart enough to know everything. But that person is with them, but try to like do everything and control everything. You don't know nothing. Go sit down.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Like one that would only handle the bills or move in different situations or conversations and stuff like that.
Yeah. I had a couple came in, and the woman standing behind him didn't say nothing. He asked all her questions, her birthday, where she lived at, her mom. He didn't say nothing. And I was like, well, darn, maybe she can't speak English, we just. So when we called her back, it's like her shoulders was like, thank you. And she walked me down, I was like, I didn't know if you speak English because you wouldn't say nothing because he just took over and told all your information. He had all your insurance, so he had all her stuff. And I can tell she was like freezing up for him to finish and trying to make sure she don't answer her own questions. But I knew that was straight control. We picked that right up.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her.
Yes, and this is definitely so many cases that are like that.
I remember one case when I was living in New Jersey. We were visiting a church, and the pastor of the church literally took the phrase way out of context of wives submit to your husbands. I mean, wherever he walked, he made sure his wife, his first lady, and the woman that he had the audacity to stand in front of people and call my queen, walked behind her, carried his briefcase, carried his jacket when he took it off, and didn't sit with him. No, she had to sit somewhere else off the stage, way off the stage, like somewhere in the middle of the row. She couldn't even sit on the front row. She had to sit where he told her to sit. And when she spoke to the congregation, you can hear the fear in her voice. You can hear the timid nature, and it's so mousy. But she was an elegant woman, but she spoke, praise the Lord, everybody. She was afraid she was going to say the wrong word and get smacked upside the head. And he was not afraid to correct her. No, this ain't the Bible I use. This is the wrong translation. Where's the Bible I had? See, that's why I can't take you anywhere. You don't give me the right things. And this is that just kind of like the guy with the bass player. And my sister-in-law was like, I'm surprised anybody's still in that congregation, because who would want to get a word from somebody who treats his own wife, like I said, the woman he has the audacity to call his queen, is treating her like a rented slave, and she wouldn't say anything. She would in women's meetings, even when the husband wasn't there, she was still timid because she was afraid that word would get back to him, and she would be corrected at home and at the church. It's just that instilling of fear because there's something lacking in him. So he's got to take it out on the woman that he swore vows to cherish and to love for the rest of their lives until death do them part. That part right there. You're going to take vows to honor and cherish the one you love and then treat her worse than a three-legged dog with fleas that's been outside for 6 weeks.
Wow.
Exactly.
And our church never went back. We never went back to that church. We separated our fellowship with them. We never went back to that church. When I was there, I don't think they ever went back since I've talked to them. So the people that I know at that church still don't go back to that church because they saw that we can't fellowship with somebody who claims to be a leader and claims to be a man of God and treats his own wife, flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone, like trash, just because he wants to feel more important than he really is.
And it's a shame, you'll find that in a good bit of our churches. So, it's just being able to be in a position to educate those who are in these situations that are so vulnerable. Even especially when it comes to, children, and people nowadays get upset because they do give the child an opinion to have an opinion, to be able to. Let's just start yawning on the podcast.
I'm about to say, did he?
Jeez. When Ann lost the train of thought, but I think I was on there talking about children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Being involved with these situations and not knowing how to get out of them. And the opinions of children. Most people get upset because some parents allow their children to have an opinion, to be able to speak up, to be able to express themselves. We didn't have them opportunities. Let us try to say something and have a daggone opinion. We got the middle of next week and been waking up this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it was kind of hard to be able to let go of that, that past, to be able to get to the future, to be able to allow our kids to be able to speak or have an opinion. Or, we still want to continue to stress, stay out of grown folk business.
Mm-hmm.
We still want to stress that part, but yes, to always give try to give them room to be able to express, because this is how they're able to learn, to be able to let someone know, no, I don't like that. I don't like the way you treated me. I don't like the way you're touching me. I don't like the way you make me feel. The way you make me feel. They can be able to express to be able to express it. So that's the important part of that. Of allowing people to be able to know, hey, you got an opinion. Your opinion matters. Even if you get on my nerve.
It's like people that are, correcting and being controlling to it. It's also kind of can flip the script. The one that's being corrective also wants to be controlled. So it's like, no, you can't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got some people that feel like they can't function without being controlled or told what to do.
Stockholm.
Especially
always getting the last word.
Yeah. And then the ones that can't function without that, is I don't know. I don't even know what the heck to say anymore right now. I just got confused.
Some women like to be controlled. They like somebody that's controlled.
Oh yeah, weird, to take charge. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Charge.
Yeah, go ahead.
I ain't gonna say control, but take charge.
Right.
Be assertive.
But it depends. That was a case by case, because some like that, and they call it taking charge, but yet it's control. That's the ones that really can't function or think for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Until that girlfriend come in.
I know you didn't.
Girl, I know you ain't letting him do you like that.
And sometimes it's a form of discipline from a child. It's something they've grown up with, so they attach themselves to somebody who will treat them like that because that's all they've ever known. That is their normal. And it's hard for them to break that normal on their own until they get with somebody who really truly can show them what love is. And love is not being controlled. Love is not being demeaned and belittled and embarrassed and made to look lower than dirt. And sometimes when women, and sometimes men, even in some cases, men who are ashamed to say anything because you're a man. You're a man. You're supposed to handle your business. You can't let your woman beat you up like that. You can't let your woman abuse you like that. You can't let her talk like that. But so in flip cases, it's even worse for some men because they get laughed at when they say their wives talk trash to them, their wives belittle them, their wives won't let them do anything or say anything. They're called soft. They're called wimps. They're called other words that you can't say in public that deal with the LGBTQ plus community, just because they're soft or appear to be soft, but they don't know
called a vagina.
Yep. Because they don't know the experiences they had with that woman, and in both cases, going back to what Pastor said about some women pastors. Those women are out to prove that they're not going to be dominated, so they over-dominate the one they're with just to show that it ain't going to happen to them no more. So they done took it out on some man who was trying to be nice, who's trying to be compassionate and loving and balance that with some assertion, but she won't let him do it because she's not going to let him open up the door to be abusive or combative or controlling to her. So it's one big 360 catch-22. It's bad in both cases.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it's a man to a woman to a man, a woman to a woman, a man to a man, parents to children, sometimes children to parents.
And children to parents.
Yeah. Or somebody that their parents did everything for them, but that's all they know. So get with somebody. They just let their person do everything for them, but that's what they're used to. They don't know how to do it on their own.
Yeah. And I can understand when it comes to sometimes with the financial situation, somebody may be able to handle and manage the finances better than others. So, that's why, I'm going to have control over this versus that. I'm going to be managing it so that way we can do it, But then I'm getting upset because now you overly expending and you're not telling me nothing and this, that, and the third's happening. And now there's a difference if we're communicating it.
Yeah. It's one thing to let somebody take care of a thing because they're better at it, but don't let them just take care of it and not give you any information on how to do it, because if they're gone, you're stuck. You're stuck.
Right. You don't have no password to get in. You don't even know the PIN number to the card or know how to call Duke Energy and pay the bill.
Mm-hmm. Now you're sitting in the house dark with just candles all over the place.
Got to pay the bill.
Got to be more careful. Don't you know that this is how your lights stayed on? Get yourself together. Get your boat or motor.
Like Chris Rock said about the father getting a big piece of chicken. Hey, Dad, thanks for all this light. Thanks for all this hot water. But he never said, hey, thanks for teaching me how to pay these bills. Hey, Dad, thank you for teaching me that not to waste this water because it costs money. And then, hey, Dad, thanks for teaching me to get a job to be able to pay for this on my own one day.
I hear Trey now saying those exact same things, almost like what you was just saying. I understand. I see why you always complain about that thermostat being touched, the lights being on, the fan and stuff running on, right? Because that light bill is high. You darn skip it. And I still will today.
That's why it pays to be blind. You can walk around the house with no lights on.
Touch my thermostat.
That's right.
Don't skip it.
Mm-hmm. If you cold, put on a sweater.
They get on them covers.
TyBoogie, let you get ready to go ahead and give our Corny Joke Corner. So, ladies and gentlemen, here she is, y'all.
The Sight Beyond Sight podcast presents Joke Corner with TyBoogie.
Okay, a man buys a lie detector robot that slaps people who lie. The man decided to try it out at dinner. Dad, son, what were you doing during school hours? Son, at school. The robot slaps the son. Son, okay, I was at my friend's house watching a DVD. Dad, which one? Son, Kung Fu Panda. The robot slaps the son again. Son, okay, I was watching an erotic movie. Dad, what? When I was your age, I didn't even know what an erotic movie was. The robot slapped the dad. Mom, ha ha ha. He is your son after all. The robot slapped the bomb.
Ooh.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, Lord.
She did tell us last week that she had a bunch of these, and so we should have known these were coming.
I want one more?
Yes.
Do it.
Okay, little Johnny comes home from Sunday school with a black eye. His father sees it and says, Johnny, how many times do I have to tell you not to fight with the other boys? But Dad, it wasn't my fault. We were all in church saying our prayers. We all stood up and my teacher in front of me had her dress in the crack of her butt. I reached over and pulled it out. That's when she hit me. Johnny, the father said, you don't do those kind of things to women. Sure enough, the very next Sunday, Johnny came home with another black and blue eyes. Johnny's father said, Johnny, I thought we had a talk. But Dad, Johnny said, it wasn't my fault. There we were in church singing our prayers. We stood up, and my teacher in front of us had a dress in the crack of her butt. Then Louie, who was sitting next to me, saw it, reached over and pulled it out. Now, I know she doesn't like this, so I punched it back in.
Wow.
Good Lord. That's just wrong.
No, Johnny. Poor Johnny.
Poor Johnny catches hell.
Well, yes, he does, dog. You beat me to it, dog.
Oh, Lord.
And that's TyBoogie, ladies and gentlemen, in the Corny Joke Corner.
This has been Joke Corner with TyBoogie.
Listen, submitting doesn't mean you submit only to one side. Submit one to another when we're talking about in the marriage or relationships or whatever type of ship you're in. And when you're growing up as a child, you submit to your parents in the way to where you're learning every step of the way. But as an adult, do you stop the learning curve? No. We learn and evolve every single moment of our life. We will always have a lesson thrown at us. How we respond to it is how we deal with the situation and the outcome. So we're responsible for the effort, and however the outcome comes, it comes out. As long as we done our part and made sure that we took the necessary steps to make a difference in someone else's life. So there's nothing wrong with taking correction. Anyone who rejects correction is brutish, the King James Version says, but in reality, that word means stupid. So anyone who rejects correction is definitely not smart. So we take this correction and love and grow and take it as a learning lesson, take it as a lesson, an education moment. So that's what we do. And TyBoogie, I love you guys, and so you tell them what to do.
Let it hurt, let it heal, let it go, and take accountability.
And know when you're wrong. Stop being control and continue to keep those cows in control.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you for listening to the Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Podcast, a podcast of inspiration and information, a production of Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment. If you have a question that you would like to submit to the podcast to be answered by Pastor Happy Feet and the crew, drop us a voicemail at 864-256-0922. Also, check out more episodes and content on our Facebook page, Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment, on X at Podcast Sight 4, and reach out to us via email, sightbeyondsight7@gmail.com. God bless, and always remember,
Let it hurt, let it heal, and let it go. Peace.
Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment is your home for quality, professional DJ and photography services. school functions, church events, weddings, you name it, Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment is here to help make your event special just for you. We also offer audio recording time in our studio for you and your group, as well as piano and drum lessons for people of all ages. For more information, reach out to us on our Facebook page, Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment. Call us at 864-529-5360 or reach out to us via email at sightbeyondsight7@gmail.com.
I don't know. I don't even know what the heck to say anymore right now. I just got confused.
You need some rest.
Do you need correction?
Yeah, I need some corrected vision, some corrected mentally, something. Yeah,
Maybe
man.
Ty can give you some batteries.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh no!
I
just got double A. I don't have the triple L.
I need double D's batteries.
Double D. Oh.
Wait, yeah, darn. Do they make those?
Not in
I don't think
batteries.
so, but you just
Make them other things, but not in batteries.
On humans.
Oh God.
Like you said.
Let's go.